This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. Well, the long national nightmare that is the Jocelyn and Nathan Wade divorce in Georgia appears to be over, and we can get out of the DEF-CON range. And Fani Willis doesn't have to testify. Nathan Wade doesn't have to testify. And now I guess we can go back to where we were with regularly scheduled programming, which is the prosecution of Donald Trump and 14 others in Georgia for election interference. So Mike Roman and his lawyer, Ashley Merchant, tried a couple of weeks ago to co-opt the messy divorce proceeding between the special prosecutor hired by Fani Willis to run all things Donald Trump and the others, who's doing a masterful job, by the way. I mean, the scorecard of his accomplishments, along with Fani Willis, can't be understated. Worked his way through a special purpose grand jury, got to a regular grand jury, got the indictment of 18 people, got the conviction already through plea bargain of 4 different people, 3 lawyers for Donald Trump, 3 for felonies, 2 for misdemeanors, got at least 8, if not more, almost a dozen people to cooperate, turn state's evidence against Donald Trump. I think other than this salacious BS to try to attack and tear down Fani T. Willis, the Fulton County DA, I should never even have to talk about the personal life of Nathan Wade. Okay, look, is Nathan Wade in a relationship with Fani Willis? Who knows? Who cares? Is it unethical? So the only way that MAGA can make it unethical is to argue that they've learned in the divorce proceedings that they went on 2 very cheap, by the way, very cheap trips, DoubleTree Inns and super cheap Carnival cruise lines for like long 3-day weekends to the Caribbean together when they weren't working. What does it have to do with Nathan Wade being paid, I don't know, $750,000? That's all in 2 years to prosecute Donald Trump. Jack Smith's been paid, or his budget is $14 million during that same period for a much simpler case. What is the argument? That the only way Nathan Wade could take maybe his girlfriend or BFF, Fani Willis, away on a holiday is because he's getting paid $700,000 to the state? That doesn't make any sense. He was a successful defense lawyer. He's been a judge. He's been special counsel throughout the state. That's one of his job duties. He makes enough money to pay for a DoubleTree Inn. The argument that she put him in a position of power so that she could get an occasional cocktail from him is not only insulting, it is ridiculous. But listen, when you're a drowning man like Mike Roman, the former election day coordinator for Donald Trump, who I like to refer to as the mule to bring the fake elector certificates from the battleground states to Mike Pence, because that was one of his jobs. He famously, having told Ken Chesbro, the lawyer for Donald Trump, the architect of the fake elector scheme, when he was told, but the fake elector certificates don't have the legend on them that I wanted that said these should only be used in case of emergency if Donald Trump won any of these lawsuits. And he said famously, F them, Legal AF them. Who cares about the fake electors? I need those certificates. Oh, boy. So, Ken Chesbro is testifying against Donald Trump, and he's also, by extension, testifying, I am sure, against Mike Roman. And Mike Roman already had to talk to the prosecutors, Jack Smith, in the D.C. election interference case. So he's up to his eyeballs in manure. And so what does a drowning man do, right? Attack the ethics and the veracity and the morals and the professionalism of the prosecutor. And what better way to do it than for people to sit on the edge of their seat thinking about Nathan Wade and his divorce with Jocelyn Wade? Like, why do I even have to know that Nathan Wade has alleged that Jocelyn Wade cheated on him with his best friend? Do I need to know that? Do I need to do an entire hot take on it? Apparently, according to MAGA, I do. Well, it's over, folks. Nothing to see here. Mike Roman hoped, because he simultaneously coordinated the filing of the motion to disqualify and to dismiss the indictment. Little known fact, he's not just trying to get rid of Fani Willis and Nathan Wade as prosecutors. He's trying to get the indictment dismissed, arguing that somehow it's infirmed because she went on a cocktail cruise with her BFF. I don't really see it. It's hard for me to keep a straight face during the hot takes on this, but it seems to make a lot of old white guys hot and bothered, clutching their pearls in Georgia, at the GOP Republicans in the House there in Georgia, many of which have just barely avoided being indicted for being involved in the fake elector scheme. They want to set up a special commission to investigate Fani Willis. Oh, ho, ho. She went out to dinner with her special prosecutor and wasting taxpayer dollars. Wasting taxpayer dollars. It's the opposite. I argued on a prior hot take. He's working harder for less because it's his girlfriend. That's my working theory. Nathan Wade is not letting any grass grow under his feet. He's working for pennies. I don't know, $300 an hour, $400 an hour, which in my profession, frankly, is not a lot of money per hour for a lawyer of his caliber. And I'm sure he's busting his backside so that let's just call her the girlfriend, Fani Willis, is impressed with his work. I think we're getting more work efficiently out of Nathan Wade, not less. That's my theory. And so Mike Roman wanted to make sure that Fani Willis was embarrassed, and he was like a puppet master, as he always is. He's trying to manipulate Jocelyn Wade to have her take the deposition of Fani Willis in a divorce where they have already admitted to the judge they are irretrievably broken. Irreconcilable differences doesn't even portray it. It's not a case in the divorce about adultery. They've already admitted the marriage can't be put back together again. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. That's it. It's over. Nobody can put it back together again. So why were they even bothering with Fani Willis in a deposition under oath? Because Mike Roman wanted them to, but now it's over. Got a new order. Temporary settlement has been reached between Jocelyn and Nathan Wade. Oh, thank God. I can sleep much better at night, knowing that the Wades can go their separate way and they can date whoever they like, including Fani T. Willis, if that is in the cards. Who cares? The indictment, I assure you, remains safe in the hands of the presiding judge, Scott McAfee. With this new temporary order in place, it's not even worth putting it up on the screen. With this new temporary order in place, the judge has announced that he's reviewed the temporary agreement, which resolves all the issues between Nathan Wade and his soon-to-be former wife, Jocelyn Wade. And I assure you that means, much to the chagrin of MAGA and of Donald Trump and of Mike Roman, there will not be a Fani Willis deposition in the divorce proceeding. There's not even going to be a Nathan Wade deposition in the divorce proceeding. They've reached agreement. This temporary agreement will turn into a permanent agreement as long as, and I'm sure it's all about money. There's no children here. It's all about money. How much money Nathan Wade, out of the $700,000 his firm has earned in the last 2 years, is going to pay Jocelyn Wade. That's all it is. It's like the old joke. We're just trying to set the price. Look it up. And so what happens next in the case of the criminal matter? Scott McAfee is going to hear a motion to disqualify in the middle of February. Donald Trump has joined in with that motion because he doesn't like the things that Fani Willis said when she was at the pulpit, literally, of a historic black church the day before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which she defended herself and her judgment and her hiring and the credentials that were impeccable of Nathan Wade. And they don't like that because they say that a prosecutor isn't permitted to act out and say extrajudicial things outside the courtroom that could bring prejudice against a defendant. Well, what prejudice is being brought against Donald Trump of a jury in Georgia that isn't already there? Right? I got news for Donald Trump. I spent a lot of time in Georgia. I've got family there. Been living there for over 30 years near Atlanta. The jury of your peers is going to be very diverse. Let's just leave it at that. And if they don't already not like you and side with Fani T. Willis, nothing she's going to say at a church is going to change that. But we'll continue to follow, hopefully, my last hot take on the sordid procedural posture of the Wade divorce. Only on the MeidasTouch Network, 2 million strong, and on Legal AF every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then on YouTube, and then on audio podcast platforms of your choice. So until my next hot take on something else, hopefully not this divorce, until my next Legal AF, which is coming up, this is Michael Popok reporting.
Hey, Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.